Thank you, Animesh, for this opportunity. And that was the excellent session just before, where I can see that radiation oncologists can make extra time and also extra space in the field of oncology. So, yeah. I'll not go into the details of all these things, guidelines and all. I'll stick to my topic. Standard of care for small cell carcinomas, limited stage is a combined modality. And we have seen that if you add chemotherapy with radiotherapy, the 3 years overall survival, there is almost on 5% absolute benefit in the terms of survival. And this is the famous Pignan meta-analysis, which has shown that almost all the trials which were, analyzed in this analysis have shown that they are on the line of significance. Only one or two have crossed the other line, but a majority of the lines are on the line of significance, and they have shown that concurrent chemo-RT is far better than doing only with chemotherapy. And the median overall survival also improves by almost on 8 to 9 months. So then, having said that, concurrent modality is good, whether to do it as a sequential or a concurrent chemo-RT. So this is also proven without doubt that concurrent chemo-RT is better than doing with sequential chemo radiation. Then what is the ideal fractionation? Whether to do it with a conventional fractionation, hypofractionation, or a SBRT. So I'll not go into the details of SBRT, not much of evidence here, and also not much of work done on this. And no topic of fractionation can be completed in radiation oncology without talking about the LQ model. So majority of the tumors, all the tumors, they fall either as rapidly proliferating tumors with high alpha beta ratio or slow growing tumors with low proliferative index, like prostate cancers, melanomas and all. They have a low alpha beta ratio. Then our small cell carcinoma has a high alpha beta ratio. What it means that the proportion of cell kill is almost all equivalent to the dose. So the alpha component, which is the linear component of the initial part of the curve, will be equal to the beta component. And this is where the high proliferative index tumors will do very well with hyperfractionation rather than a conventional fractionation. But this is a paradigm here. There is a paradox here for small cell carcinoma. Although radiobiologically we say that they are high alpha beta ratio tumors, high proliferative index with very short tumor doubling time of 5.6 days, but still the clinical studies have shown that along with hypofractionation also has some role in small cell carcinomas. So the answer for this paradox is that it is the overall treatment time which is more important for small cell carcinomas more than the biological effective dose, the total dose, or any kind of other fractionations. So we'll dig into the clinical trials which have addressed these issues. First one will be whether to do conventional or a hyperfractionated regimen. So this is the famous intergroup trial, very beginning days, where they have compared 45 gray in 25 fractions, once daily fractionation with the same dose given in BD fraction. And they have seen almost all a 10% improvement in overall survival just by reducing the overall treatment time by 2 weeks. So it was 5 weeks versus 3 weeks, and the 3 weeks schedule has done very well with a good survival benefit. Then the next, most commonly quoted trial by the radiation oncologist, the CONVERT trial, which has compared between 45 gray of 30 fractions, which is almost all standard of care as of now for all the small cell limited stage diseases. They have compared this with the conventional fractionation, which is 66 gray in 33 fractions. Interestingly, this did not show any improvement either less or more here. It is all, we can see that almost all the survival curves are overlapping with each other. So the authors, they say that it is not adequately powered to show the equivalence here. Then after, the same publishers have come up with the long-term outcomes from this trial, and they have shown that the late toxicities were more in the once daily group. And the conclusion from this, although we do not have enough statistical significantly, numbers to say which trial is, which fractionation is better, but the authors say that it is 45 gray in BD fractionation is much better because of the long-term toxicities in the once daily group. Then twice daily group, that is hyperfractionation with high dose conventional fractionation. That is, you give up to 70 gray or a higher BED conventional fractionation. Does it have any impact on the survival? So this is the famous Alliance trial or the RTOG 0538 trial. It has been a 3-arm trial which started with 45 gray in 30 fractions versus 70 gray conventional RT given once daily. And also there was a third arm which was 61 gray with a concomitant boost. But this third arm was discontinued very early because the toxicity was very high in this third group. So ultimately, it was between 45 gray versus 70 gray BD versus once daily conventional fractionation. What they have shown is, again, they couldn't find any improvement in both the overall survival or the progression-free survival. And the reason may be that, the BED, the total BED, instead of going up to 70 gray, still the BED was, that high BED did not turn into a survival benefit. The reason is that it is a prolonged, course of radiation with 7 weeks almost all. And majority of the, up to 20% of the patients did not complete radiation in the 70 gray arm. So, again, the conclusion is that better to go with the 45 gray in 30 fractions BD fractionation. So then, if this is the standard, does dose escalation in the BD groups, that is hyperfractionation group, will help in improving further the survival for these patients? So not much of data here, but we have some early phase 2 trials which have shown a promising improvement in the survivals, but we need a long-term data and also a phase 3 data from for these schedules. This is a unique schedule where they have compared the standard of care, that is 45 gray in 30 fractions with 60 gray in 40 fractions. So the BED has gone up to 58 gray here, and they have shown that the survival is almost all 74% versus 48%, which is a huge leap of benefit in terms of 2 years overall survival. Then there is another phase 3 trial which has compared between 45 gray versus 50 gray, both given in 30 fractions and BD fractionation. 54 gray has shown an improved overall survival and PFS without increasing the toxicities. So these are the early trials, but as of now, the standard of care will be 45 gray. But in future, maybe if we can increase the dose in BD fractions also, maybe we can improve the survival for our patients. Then increasing BED versus overall treatment time, I think overall treatment time wins rather than increasing the total dose in a conventional fractionation. This is because the tumor repopulation happens after 3 weeks. So whatever we do, we have to complete the treatment course within 3 weeks rather than prolonging it beyond 3 weeks, because it is the time where the accelerated repopulation happens, and also the treatment will finish before the toxicity chips in. So beyond 3 weeks, the patient will have toxicity, and the compliance to complete the treatment course will be difficult there. And that is the reason overall treatment time is much, much, much important than increasing the BED with the conventional fractionation or any other types. Then hypo versus conventional RT. Again, not much work here. This is one 10 years data which these authors have published on this. Originally, these authors were treating the patients with 40 gray in 15 fractions. And after a few years, they have shifted to 50 gray in 25 fractions. And after 10 years, they have found that there's no difference whether you treat these patients with 15 fractions or 25 fractions. So, and then we have some retrospective data, but none of them have shown much difference in survivals, but the toxicity is acceptable. And then the next thing is whether to treat these patients, because I said hypofractionation is also equivalently good because you're treating the patients within 3 weeks with 40 gray in 15 fractions. So is it okay with comparison and in comparison with 45 gray BD fraction? So this is again studied by, of course, these are all very small studies, and they have compared 40 gray in 30 fractions with 42 gray in 15 fractions OD fraction. So here again, they have shown that the BD fraction gives a more complete response and median overall survival, but they are all very small differences. We cannot conclusively say that both are which one is much better than other one. So this is another trial which showed, compared between 45 gray in 30 fractions versus 65 gray in 26 fractions, a moderately hypo fractionation schedule. And here they have shown that hypofractionation improved the PFS, but not at, they didn't comment about the overall survival benefit. This is a phase 2 trial. So not much of data. SBRT will not talk, but I came across this one small paper which says that maybe if you treat these SBRT, small cell carcinomas with SBRT, it might lead to large cell transformation and treatment resistance may be there and distant metastasis, but we need much more data to comment on this. So there is a review and meta-analysis which was published recently in the Green Journal. They have done a study to see whether high dose BD fraction, that is 54 gray in 30 fractions and 60 gray in 40 fractions, is it better than 45 gray? And they have shown that it definitely prolongs the overall survival, but the data is only from the phase 2 trials. Then hyper RT with hypo RT comparison, again, this has shown a prolonged PFS with acceptable toxicity. As of now, other regimens, there is no difference in terms of overall survival or PFS and toxicities. And the overall role of overall treatment time cannot be less emphasized in limited stage small cell carcinomas. So whether we do, but in clinical practice, how many of us practice this? Because BD fraction, there are always a logistics issues, but getting a small cell limited stage disease in a clinical practice, at least in our scenario, we haven't seen much number of patients. 1 or 2 patients when I was there at institute in Indo-American Institute, we used to do BD fractionation, but after coming into the private practice, we have seen only extensive stage. Maximum we do come across some palliative artists, but not any radical concurrent chemo patients. Then, but out of those 1 or 2 patients whom we have treated clinically with BD fraction, the compliance was really good, and there's not much of toxicity, as it has been mentioned in the literature that we can treat all these patients within 3 weeks before the toxicity chips in, and then we can finish off. And after the radiation, it's easy to manage the side effects for the patient. So this was the study by the among the US radiation oncologists. Majority of them, although they say clinically like twice daily is good, around 40% of the radiation oncologists felt twice daily is good, but in clinical practice they have been doing only single, once daily fraction. So it is a little bit alarming thing. Maybe we need to shift our practice. To conclude, overall treatment time is much, much more important. This is to prevent the accelerated repopulation, which happens after 3 weeks. And once the accelerated repopulation sets in, the tumor doubling time will be much, much shorter. It's not only 5 or 6 days, it will be even 4 days after that accelerated repopulation happens. Then hyper TRT is the standard of care. It balances both acute and late toxicities. As of now, 45 gray in 30 fractions is the most commonly followed BED fraction, BD fraction, and this gives a BED dose of 51 gray. But based on these 1 or 2 phase 2 trials, we have seen that 60 gray in 40 fractions also, it has a much better survival because it has a higher BED, which can, improve the survival rates for the patients, but we need more evidences. In case by any other logistic issues, we are not able to do the hyperfractionated BD schedule for the patient, then better do a hypofractionated schedule than treating these patients on conventional TRT. The most commonly followed is 40 gray in 15 fractions for hypo TRT, but you can even dose escalate also based on your clinical experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sunita, for your very concise presentation. And I hope we can take a couple of questions from the audience because this is a very hot topic.
In fact, I wanted to ask the question, how many of radiation oncologists here have been practicing BD dose? Chilkur Srinivas, I saw him. Srinivas, do you do 2 fractions in a day? Sridhar? Not much. I don't know, somehow there is a slag among the radiation oncologists, maybe because of the logistic reasons or anything, but patient compliance is good. Once you explain them that this is the thing, you need to take these 2 fractions in a day, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening, they do come. They do come, and it's very easy. And in fact, in the literature also, among those studies which I have mentioned, they've all said that the compliance is not a problem. It is only the mindset which usually stops us from following this. But for whatever reasons, if we are not able to do the BD fraction, better to do a hypofractionated TRT compared to conventional radiation.
Any question? Just one thing, may I ask you, Dr. Sunita? I'm here. I'm here. Actually, this was my MD dissertation, hyperfractions. We did it in Calcutta Medical College, many patients.
Yeah.
I'm talking about early 90s. You can recall that time there were lots of presentations, lots of trials comparing conventional versus hyper in small cell lung cancer, and most of them showed the better tumor control with hyperfractionation. And this SCLC is one of the disease where hyperfractionation started.
Yes.
But now after the arrival of hypofractionation, people are getting confused. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
And in busy centers, people are doing hypofraction. In less busy center, people are doing hyperfraction.
Yeah.
So what is your just a message to the audience? What should be done? Hypo or hyper?
Based on the evidences, hyperfractionation definitely is the standard of care. 45 gray in 30 fractions as of now, but dose escalation might come up. That is one thing. By any chance, because of the logistics or for whatever reasons, you are not in a position to do hypofractionation, then do a hypofractionation. The standard dose will be 40 gray in 15 fractions. Even that will be good enough that rather than doing a conventional fractionation that is 66 gray on 33 or 70 gray in 30 fractions.
Dr. Sunita, do you regularly do BD fractionation for all small cell lung cancer?
Can you please use the mic? You are not audible.
Do you regularly do hyperfractionated BD RT for all the small cell?
I had an opportunity to treat only 2 patients in my entire career,
Okay.
because getting these small
Okay.
cell carcinomas, especially in a private practice, is very less. But
Okay.
in institute, we do get, and all the patients, we have treated them with hypofractionation, morning and evening. And they have tolerated well. It's not, I mean, it's all in our mindset that if you're doing it twice in a day, it may be very toxic for the patient, but it's not like that. They do very well.
Okay. There too.
Sir, you're not audible, sir.
But the overall.
You follow the
treatment-
principles of radiobiology, as
Sir.
you have said already
Yeah.
in the beginning, that because of the alpha by beta value, it is logical that hyperfractionation would be beneficial
Yes,
than hypofractionation.
yes. But still,
But it is-
because the overall
overall
treatment
treatment
time, which has overcome even that
She
scenario.
said that
So
overall
that's a
treatment
paradox
time
in
is
small
more
cell
important than the alpha beta. I think.
Yes,
Here, just one thing, maybe the toxicity issue that is encountered in hyperfraction, the main deciding factor is the interfraction interval. If it is
Yes.
below 6 hours,
Yes.
it will be more. If it is 6 to 8 hours or more.
so
it will be
what
less.
we used to do was start with the first patient of this hypofractionation in the morning. And then once all the patients are done, usually we used to have
Okay.
500 patients on the machine. So 12 hours easily used to be the gap between the two fractions. So they
Thank
used
you.
to tolerate.
Thank you very much. As we are on a time constant, so.
Yeah.
Thank
We'll
you
have
very
a
much.
group photograph before we move on to the next session. Thank you, Dr. Sunita, for such a splendid presentation.